Good to have your company. Great to hear from Wayne Jones on the show. Always a really welcome guest on Pure West Sports. Still really passionate about Haverfordwest County, Gordon, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's been with the Bluebirds for nigh on 20 years as a player, coach, manager, water boy. He's done it all, to be fair, Wayne. And, it was great that the club have actually thought of doing this Wall of Fame. It's something that people will look back in years to come and remember what certain people at the club have done, and you can see their names on the wall. It'll be quite a topic over the next few years when a few of them are on that wall. Yeah. And Wayne, he was saying, there's a lot more better people than himself to. There's no better person, to be fair. He deserves to be up there just the same as anyone else. And Mickey Ellis, another true servant as well, and Sean Pemberton. I mean, very, very modest guys, but they've done a lot of service for Haverfordwest County. And, they deserve to be there.
And well done to the club for recognising that. And I think Wayne will be back in sooner rather than later. Well, he said before Christmas, didn't he? We think he might get another role. So let's see where that goes, because I think he's still got a lot to offer the game, clearly. Let's switch codes, shall we? And let's talk a bit about rugby. We'll do some local rugby and autumn internationals. In fact, just before we do, some breaking news actually tonight is that Stephen Gerrard's replacement at Aston Villa has been named. Unai Emery, former Arsenal and Villarreal manager, has got the job. Tom, what do we think? Did a good job in Spain.
He's done a very good job in Spain. He's been a frequent flyer to UEFA Cup finals, so he's done something right. He underachieved at Arsenal. He didn't really get to those dizzying heights that people wanted, but he was still qualifying for UEFA. But is that he's just going to offer the same again to Aston Villa? Is that really ambitious?
They've spent some money, and Gerrard did spend some money, Gord, didn't he? He was well backed.
Yeah, that is a problem we were speaking about earlier, Ben. And Gerrard he's brought in players and spent quite a bit of money over the summer months. Emery's got a tough job because he's got to come in and try and galvanise that squad and try and move it forward. Hopefully, he may have a little bit of money in January and may be able to offload some of the players he doesn't want at the club, because every manager have different opinions. It's a matter of getting them to play and getting, and it's a results business, Ben. We all know that. No matter what we say, it's a results business. And Villa have been really, really poor. And I'm really surprised at Steve Gerrard. I always admired him as a player, as a captain of Liverpool and his country. And I thought, they don't necessarily make good managers, mind, but I thought Stephen Gerrard would. And he still would, because he did well with Rangers, to be fair. He did, yeah. It's just so much pressure in the Premier League. I mean, Frank Lampard is, he used to play alongside Gerrard. He's had difficult times as well. And he's having tough times at Everton. He's had a few decent results of late. But things can quickly change.
Yeah, I don't think he was given a proper chance at Arsenal. No budget really proven at the top level. That's from my dad. He's a big Arsenal fan. My dad.
He's a big Arsenal fan.
Peter's commented down here. Yeah, and I think Arteta's probably shown though that. I mean, he's done a good job at Arsenal, hasn't he? He makes actually the work Emery did maybe not look quite so good there. We'll see. We'll see how he goes at Villa. Let's do that though. Let's change codes now and let's talk rugby, because our friend Kerry Coleman-Phillips, she's been covering the Wales Women's World Cup. What a job that is, by the way, out in New Zealand. She looks like she's having an absolutely fantastic time.
To be fair, she did tweet she's got to stay out there another week, and she's gutted. I think she's missing Brian, to be honest. She needs to get back home.
Well, Brian watches. So he might well be watching us right now. He's probably enjoying the peace and quiet, actually.
Well, he said if we had a hell of a party Saturday night, don't tell Kerry that.
Because the reason Kerry's staying out there, the Wales women's side with a few Pembrokeshire representatives, Jazz Joyce, Lisa Neumann, Sinead Harris as well. They're in the quarterfinals and they'll play New Zealand, which, Gordon, will be a very tough game. There's no doubt about it.
No question about that. But we were talking off air, Ben, again, but we'll talk on air now. They've done absolutely brilliant, haven't they, Wales, to be fair. I don't think they expected to get to the quarterfinal stage, but they have. They've produced some good rugby. And and on the biggest stage as well. It's World Cup. I mean, they've only done the contracts the last 12 months, and we were saying how much an improvement that will be for the girls to actually be paid to train and actually be together, and the improvement is already shown. So the WRU are to be applauded for once, to be fair. They get a lot of criticism. I, for one, will say well done to the WRU, well done to Welsh Women's, because Johan Cunningham's done a great job there as well, leading them, and they're going from strength to strength. Unfortunately, Saturday's game is going to be really tough. We're going to be realistic about it. New Zealand are probably the favourites to go on and win this competition. No, Canada are strong as well, I know, in women's rugby, but they're one of the favourites. And we've got to try and produce an epic performance, even just to stay with them. But I'm sure the girls will be up for it and really hungry, and to do well in this, and to get to the quarterfinal is they've punched way above their weight already. So well done to them all, and good luck for Saturday.
Yeah, we'll try and catch up with Kerry, I think, on the show when she's back. But it's a 7:30 kickoff our time if you want to tune in to watch that quarterfinal at the weekend. Just before we look at the autumn internationals, locally in the rugby, we did the results in the first hour of the show, but Narberth had a good win away to Cardiff Met. That was a 30-10 win. In the end, Gordon, decent result that for the Otters.
They're going well, aren't they, to be fair? They're one of the form sides in that division. Sean Gale has been there a few years now, and he's produced a really good, solid team who perform week in, week out. And the whole squad are doing really well. And they're flying the flag for Pembrokeshire at the highest level, and they're doing a grand job. Long may it continue.
And Tom, you watched a game with plenty of points, didn't you? Langham were beaten 70-0, weren't they, by Larne?
Yeah, it was a bit of a humbling, really, down at Pill Parks. But you look at that Larne squad, and there's a few familiar faces that you wouldn't ordinarily expect in that division. The last time I saw the number 10, Nico Satari, was when he was playing for the county against Valero. So It was. I've never seen a player have so much time and composure on the ball at Pill Parks, not for a long time anyway. And they just... Like Langham stayed at it, but you just can't play against that level of time that all those Whitlam boys seem to have. It was
all those what boys?
Whitlam, Larne boy.
Careful, Tom. Careful.
That's right. I've got Gordon here. All those Larne boys.
Okay, moving on, shall we, Gordon? To the autumn internationals, because they're coming up. Exciting for Josh McLeod, former Cremwick player. In Wayne Pivac's squad, almost made his debut last year, didn't he?
Yeah, he was picked for the game against Scotland, to be honest with you. And in the run-out before the international the day before, he suffered an injury again, a hamstring injury, so he couldn't actually play in that international. And it's not happened to him once, it's happened to him twice, Ben. So hopefully this time we wish Josh all the best. He's definitely going to feature somewhere in the autumn internationals, and I hope he doesn't have this dreadful and lucky streak of picking up an injury when he's getting ready to play for his country, because he has been one of the standout back row players for the Scarlets for definitely this season, but the last few seasons he's been outstanding. His work rate is tremendous around the park. He really does cover the ground, and he reads the game so well as well. He's a good ball player, and he's very strong in the tackle and Jekyllin. He's a really top player, so he deserves that Welsh cap. So let's fingers crossed that he gets over the line and plays for his country, and we'll all be cheering him on.
The disadvantage he's got is that he needed that time to bed himself in as that replacement, and then of course you've got the likes of Jack Morgan coming in, who had a stellar season with Scarlets when McLeod was injured, and he's gone to the Ospreys. Admittedly, they didn't do well on the weekend. But Jack Morgan as an individual is phenomenal talent.
The back row, we got an abundance of talent, to be honest with you. You've got Justin Tipperix, and I'm sure Wayne Pivac will give him an opportunity, and let's hope the boy does well. We'll be all rooting for him.
big game potentially to make your debut in as well in Cardiff, New Zealand.
If it's the first one, New Zealand. If I was him, I wouldn't be too keen to run out against them. Although he won't turn it down, obviously.
No.
But yeah. Yeah, good luck to Josh.
To be fair, we laugh though, Gordon, but actually, those probably are the games you want to play, and
well, of course it is. You want to play against Cardiff. The best, don't you? You no matter what player you are, you want to play against the best at the highest standard you can play, and he certainly will do that if he gets selected to play the All Blacks Australia. So yeah, good luck to Wales. It's going to be a difficult autumn series, but I'm going to say this now, I'm not too worried about the results. Like Ben, he gets a bit carried away with the results in the autumn. Right. It's about fielding players. We've got the Six Nations and we've got a World Cup ahead of us. So I'm putting that out there now. Don't worry about Wales winning or losing. It's about developing international players, and we'll try and get it right for the Six Nations and World Cup next season. That's what Pivot will be trying to do.
The coach's future not on the agenda this autumn, Gordon, no?
No.
Well, my worry for that first game, 5th of November, is there's train strikes scheduled as well. So it could be tricky getting to Cardiff. And
it could be.
Let's hope Pivac's Welsh career doesn't come off the rails early on. Will he keep
Very
it on
good
track?
pun, Ben. Very good pun.
Track?
I will say it'll stay on track even if they lost every game.
Okay, we'll look forward to that. Plenty of autumn international discussion to come in the weeks ahead. Gordon and Tom, I've really enjoyed your company tonight. Thank you ever so much, both. We will be back on again next Monday, 7 till 9, with Eaton Evans and Morris Solicitors. Next, we've got a special programme looking back on the Croeso Awards that took place last week. Toby's going to take us through some of the highlights next on Pure West Radio. Have a great rest of Monday. Good night.
You can listen to Pure West Radio anywhere.